Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, July 27th, 2015. How's it going? How are ya? Joe, July's almost over. Where's the fucking summer going, kid? Dude, you know what I want to get? I want to get some of that fucking, who's that politician on the beer there? Sam Adams. Summer ale, kid, right? I drink the summer ale in the summer. Right? In the fall, I drink the one with the fucking cherries in it. And then the rest of the time, I just drink their regular lager. What's up, everybody? So, old Billy Red Cakes. Old Red Velvet here. He's been trying to lose weight. Ba-da-ba. Let's go, Freckles. You fucking douche. Go get a tan. No one wants to see your fucking pasty legs at the beach. So, last week I was supposed to be 180 pounds, but I was not in the vicinity of a scale. And by the way, somebody gave me shit. Like, dude, what kind of fucking respectable hotel doesn't have a scale? Doesn't have a scale where you like that comes standards where you stay? Where are you staying at, huh? You staying at the old Illuminati Inn? Huh? Does some broad come in wearing some fucking weird mask? All fucking naked? One of those fucking perfectly shaped broads like you see in the movie by the guy who did the Eyes Wide Shut. He's one of Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick has some of the hottest broads ever in the history of film in his movies. Ever. You know, it's just a shame horrible shit happens to him. But, you know, in the midst of the horror, you're like, God damn, that's a beautiful woman. And I think that really speaks to the beauty of a woman, that something horrible could be happening where you're like, wow. She looks like a fucking statue with a muff. All right. They never have the muffs in statues. Have you noticed that? It's a little difficult with the concrete. What are you going to do? Have somebody with long fingernails kind of come up while the concrete's still wet and just kind of do one of those right in the old crotch area? How does that go, Bill? That goes, That's how you do it. That's how you make it. You know, I took a sculpture class just like old Adolf Hitler did, didn't he? Or he'd take a painting class. I don't know what he did. It just always makes me kind of smile, thinking there was a point in his life where he was just thinking he was going to be an artist, you know, sitting there with an easel, you know what I mean, painting some ducks, you know, by a pond. And who knows, maybe somebody Jewish walked by and sneezed and scared the ducks, and he just fucking snapped and just sent him down a whole other road. You know? Has anybody explored that theory? That was offensive to ducks and Jewish people. Oh, this blog is going to be easy. So anyways, I'm sitting here in my office, fucking hot as hell. I got to close the windows on the counter. I swear a lot. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't want to offend the people next door. God knows I could reach out and touch their fucking house. Reach out and touch my house. So fucking stupid. This is such a fucking stupid city. I live in a city, yet I live in a house in a city. You know, and I have a yard, but I don't. You know what I mean? Got to have the drapes closed, people just walking by looking at you and shit. So anyways, I'm back here. So anyways, I was supposed to get down to 180 fucking pounds. I couldn't weigh myself last week. I was at the Just for Laughs festival. The booze was flowing. All right? And I stayed awake. What's that fucking grunge song? Stay away. What was it? Alice in Chains. Off a Jar of Flies, I believe. Wow, that takes me back in the day. Hey, let's go down this ADD fucking stream before I get to my official weigh-in. I used to listen to that fucking cassette tape when I would be driving in my 83 Ford Ranger with the rebuilt Ford cylinder that the broad I worked with told me that was a dumb move. She was all excited that I was going to buy a new car. And my brother told me, don't do that. Then you chain to your day job. You don't want to fucking do that. So I didn't. I rebuilt it. I didn't rebuild it. I had somebody else put a brand new one in. That's what happened. The other one fucking burned up. So I fucking had a brand new one put in. Cost me $1,500 at the time. This is the early 90s. I still remember that woman when I went to work. She's like, where's the new car? I said, oh, you know what? I decided to put a new engine in my truck instead. She just like made this what the fuck look and just wrinkled her nose and went, that was stupid. Was it stupid? Maybe I don't want to stay there wearing this smock for the rest of my life, all right? With your fucking, whatever you got there. What was it, the Nissan Power Ranger? What did they make in the early 80s that everybody loved? The Maxima. You get it? You're taking it to the max, to your mom. Maxima. Ma, I can't afford the payments. Can you take over? I got fired for smoking weed on the all right, I did a little blow. Okay, I stayed out. Oh, fuck. Oh, you know what? I will move out. That's what you hear in Boston when the windows ain't closed. So anyways, what was I saying? So I used to fucking drive that thing. And, oh, man, those are the fucking days. And I would do fucking Dick Doherty's room up and drink it. I'd do the High Five, this restaurant on top of the only skyscraper in fucking Manchester, New Hampshire, or the other town there. What's the other town? There's 2 towns in fucking New Hampshire. The rest of it is fucking beautiful woods, streams, and probably a lot of people doing heroin. Heroin's back in a big way. Hey, I'll tell you, this kid hasn't been on stage in a while. Let's bring him up. It's the other one. Nashua. I think it was in Manchester. I used to do the High Five. I used to do Bob Marley's fucking room on Old Orchard Beach, and I used to fucking listen to that cassette tape over and over and over again the whole way down. In fact, I remember coming back down 128, heading back down to my house. I had to work the next fucking day, driving like 80 miles an hour, and all of a sudden I got a fucking flat tire and pulling over on the side of the fucking road, one of the scariest things you can do on the highway. Pulled over, and all they had was that, that little fucking, that awful poor excuse for a fucking tire iron. It's just like the little one you could fit it right up your sleeve, little L-shaped fucking thing. And I knew I didn't have enough leverage because I'd been there before, so I always had a section of pipe behind my seat. And dude, I changed that thing like I don't think a pit crew. Well, actually, a pit crew could do it, but for one person, I changed that fucking tire so goddamn fast sitting on the side of the road. I had my spare in the back of the truck, that section of pipe, fucking 4 lugs. I used to have that down. I had so many fucking flats over the years, and that thing was such a piece of shit, that truck, that I knew the whole fucking routine. Take out your spare tire, stick it under the car, a little bit in case it comes slamming fucking down and hits the tire and not your foot, right? Loosen all the fucking lugs with your section of pipe on your little fucking L-shaped thing before you raise the fucking truck. Then you jack it up. All right, you take the fucker off, you stick, I used to put the lugs right in a row. There was no cell phones, I didn't have a flashlight, I had fucking nothing. I'd line them right up in the back of the truck. I used to pray to God that it happened on the right side, like that was a good night. And you stick the fucker back on, you start all 4 of them, you set the thing back down, and you wha-bash, 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 and then you're back in the fucking truck. Feeling like a man! Anyways, so, what was I talking about? I was talking about how much weight I lost. So I was supposed to be at 180 last week, did not have a scale, because evidently I stay in shitty hotels. And this week I was supposed to be 177. All right? And I fucking worked out the whole time I was up in Montreal. I ran the stairs, Royal Park, whatever the fuck they call it. Ran those almost every day, or as long as I could. I took one day off. And but that day I played hockey and absolutely fucking embarrassed myself. Oh my! I hadn't played hockey in like 4 months, and I already sucked. And I went out there and just for laughs, knew this guy who used to play for the fucking Canadians, and he looks like a fucking movie star. Come on, Habs fans, you know who he is, huh? First number 4, second number 4, later traded to the Devils. He's got this fucking sick ass like little mini rink. So anyways, Stéphane Richer. So we fucking show up, and I'm going, oh, my God, this fucking Stéphane Richer. He used to kill us. And so we played, and, like, the other team was just a bunch of ringers, and they came out there, and, like, my first shift, I think I was on the ice for, like, fucking 3 seconds, and they scored, and I'm coming back. And immediately everybody knows. They already knew I sucked, but now it's like they know how much I suck, right? And the other team scored, like, fucking 3 goals within, I don't know, maybe a minute. And then all of a sudden we got like 2, and then blah, blah, blah. Then they were up like 8-5, and then people, this is basic what happened. They realized that they were way better, and they were nice enough to let us win by 1. That's what happened. I think we won like 13-12. It was a good time. I had 0 shots on net. Never fell down, though. I never went down, Ray. They never knocked me down. But I was awful. Ah, man, I should have skated at least once before I went up there. And but whatever. I burned some calories. But thank you to everybody there at the rink that let us play out there. I had a great, despite the fact that I was fucking horrific, I had a great time. And I don't know, hockey players are just fucking funny guys to hang out with anyway. So everybody was busting balls and that type of shit. And, guys coming in the face-off. Oh, I'm going up against old Freckles, giving me shit. And then they go right around me. And you know what? There was nothing I could do about it. So thanks to everybody hooking it up. And thank you to the other team for letting us win by 1 or 2, whatever you did. It's very nice of you. Very hospitable. So anyways, so now I come back. And I stepped on the scale this morning. It's Sunday. I was supposed to be 180 last week and 177 this week. And I got on the scale. And my weight was 180 pounds even. So I'm 3 pounds behind what the fuck I wanted to do. However, I was 186.6 when I started this fucking thing. So, what does a quitter do? Huh? What does a quitter do besides take off her horseshoes and walk barefoot back to the fucking hotel room across the casino floor with dirty-ass fucking feet? What else does a quitter do? A quitter goes like, well, I was supposed to be 177 and I'm 180. Forget it. Fuck that. Last week was a wash for me. All right? I'll consider that a bye week because I was on the road. So next week I got to get down to 177. Who gives a fuck? As long as I reach my goal of getting down to 162 pounds the last time I had abs. All right? This is my last big push. I'm turning 50 in 3 fucking years. This is my last hope. Nobody has abs in their 50s unless you did heroin in your 20s. And that's a fact, and you can fucking look it up. Look at Keith Richards. Look at the fucking shape that guy's in. Despite his horrific habits. Tremendous shape. All those fucking guys. Anybody who did the fucking smack. The key is not to OD and die. You get clean, and I don't know what it is, man. The rest of your fucking life. It's like you just have an orange and like you're full for fucking 10 hours. I have no idea how they do it. I don't want to start outing people that did heroin. Well, let's just say if you do hard drugs in general. Look at what's his face there from that band. That had the puppets on the cover. You know what I'm talking about. I am skinny and bones. I am pointy nose. But a motherfucker makes me cry. Right? He's fucking skinny as shit. He's pushing 60. I'm not advocating doing heroin. I'm just talking about having abs in your 50s. I'm doing it au natural. So no heroin. So anyways, I do feel by tomorrow, Monday, which you're listening to now, not to fuck you up, I will be 179. So I'm only like 2 pounds behind. So what I keep doing is I keep switching up the fucking workout. And Bert fucking Kreischer was nice enough to send me something about grip strength from one of those men's magazines that I can never commit to having a subscription to because it's just the same thing over. Like all those men's health magazines, you know what? They're just like Cosmo. If you really look at the covers, it's the same shit every fucking episode or whatever you call it, every issue. Cosmo's always some fucking hot fucking airbrush broad, right? There's something else, so-and-so's most in-depth fucking interview ever. She's finally found happiness, right, or whatever. And then there's always, either how to get your man, how do you know if your man's fucking around, how to really please your man, how to get your man to please you, one of those fucking articles. And then on the men's one, right, they always got some guy who's kind of famous, right, who's shredded, airbrushed and all of that shit. And it's always how to get abs in fucking 20 days. The Cirque du Soleil diet or some fucking diet, and then some new fucking arm workout that's going to explode your biceps or some shit. It's all the same fucking crap. You know what you got to do, all right? You fucking you eat well at the beginning of the day. You have your fruits before fucking 12. And then after that, you go veggie. You have your fucking meat the size of the palm of your hand. If you're even remotely near that and you're working out, if you're doing half hour of fucking cardio and you lay off the booze, the ice cream, the chips, the cookies, and all that shit, where is it going to get? The fat's got nowhere to hide. You turn the lights on, the roaches all fucking start scurrying. That's the first time I ever used scurrying in fucking eight years of doing a podcast. You know what you got to do. You don't need those fucking magazines. But every once in a while, you get bored with your workout. You want something new. So Burr Kreischer sent me this thing. I'm going to go back on my Twitter history and try and find it. But he sent me this killer fucking grip strength workout. And the first thing is you just try to hang from a chin-up bar in the pull-up position for fucking a minute. 3 sets of 1 minute. And the key to that is just hang there. What I was doing was I was kind of in like a fucking the first third of a pull-up. So I was burning out. But if you just hang there, it's not that fucking hard. So now I moved to the next one, which is you do it again for a minute. But you're hanging there, holding the bar with one hand. And the other one, you drape some sort of cloth, you know, whatever. If you're in your garage like me, the fucking rag you use to fucking check your oil, which is probably stupid because there's oil on it. But whatever, that helps with the grip strength. And that one you hold, you just drape it over. Just some sort of face cloth. You drape that over and you hang on to that with one hand. The other hand's on the bar. You try to do it for a minute and then you switch hands. And I've been able to do it for a minute on one side, and then the other side I did it for about 45 seconds. That's where I'm at on that thing. And then, of course, you're like, well, let me put 2 up there and see if I can just hang by 2 fucking rags, and I almost broke both my kneecaps. That's hard as shit. For me, anyways. You know? So that's where the fuck I'm at. So I'm going to get down to 177 next week by hook or by crook. And I'm hanging in there with the booze. 21 days, no booze. I'm getting to the point of, who gives a fuck? I was kidding. No, I can't wait for September 15th. September 16th is when I can booze. That's when I can booze again. But I got to tell you, the hardest place for me to not booze actually is my house. You know why? Because I got the good shit. You know, you go out to a fucking bar. What am I going to do out there? I'm married, so I don't give a shit about the women out there. You know? And then I got to spend 10 times what I'm going to pay at home. And I'm going to drink eat fucking cheap booze. Right? Why the fuck would I do that? In fact, all you youngsters out there, I know, because you know what, you're single, you want to get laid or whatever. But if you really want to go out for a fucking night of drinking, you want something good, it's just like eating at home. It's way cheaper. Pull your fucking money together, all of yous, how many it takes. Go get yourself just a fucking bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. Just get that. You know what I mean? Don't put any ice on it, you cunts. Sip it like a fucking gentleman. I'm telling you. I don't know. That, you can't appreciate that in your 20s. If you appreciate that in your 20s, you're a fucking raging alcoholic. If your palate is that sophisticated, either that or your dad's a banker or some shit. Instead of you finishing his morning coffee with some sort of booze, so he could numb the fucking lies he was going to tell all day. Oh, Jesus, Bill, could you get more dramatic? I'm sorry. What do you want from me? How many times I got to tell you guys? I got an hour to fucking fill here. Hour to fucking fill over there. All right, let's get to some of the reads for this week. Hey, everybody, you're going to get to listen to me read out loud. By the way, no hard feelings with DraftKings, by the way. They explain their position to me. They know that they're gambling. They don't give a fuck, right? But they're just in business with baseball. They're trying to make their money. Why would I be a douche and try to hurt them for making money, right? So they said eventually they'll come back to the podcast, and I'll play ball, all right? I'll play ball. What do you want from me? I immediately. That's probably because I never talk to the advertisers. That helps. Whenever they call to complain. Is he available? No. When is he available? Never. I already know what you're going to say. Oh, we didn't like what you said. All right. Dollar Shave Club, everybody. For only $1, you can get a great shave. All righty. I got to tell you, shaving the old way sucks a lot. It hurts. You lather up with cheap foam wincing as hair is scraped from your face with those old, worn-out razors you won't throw away. Why? Because they cost so goddamn much. Well, not anymore, everybody. Dollar Shave Club sends amazing razors for a few bucks, and when you use them with their members only, what, the jacket? With their members only, Dr. Covey's Easy Shave Butter! It completely changes the game. Forget foam. Their foam face. This stuff is the real deal. It's magic. Something happens when you put it on. It's hard to describe, but it feels amazing. It's the most gentle, peaceful shave imaginable. This is starting to make me think about Hitler with that easel, painting the ducks. You barely know you're shaving. Never a good thing to bring up Hitler in the middle of an ad. Other shaving products can leave your face feeling dry and tight. It's awful. But Dr. Covey's Easy Shave fucking Butter is high-quality stuff, just like their razors. It's got organic, all-natural ingredients like pear cactus and black willow bark. So you know it's good. So your skin feels fresh, smooth, and moisturized after a shave. How the fuck does bark make your face smoother? It's got to be the shit in it, right? They wring it out, you know. There's grip strength for you, huh? Wringing out some fucking tree bark. It's great if you have sensitive skin. Dr. Carvey's Easy Shave Butter from Dollar Shave Club is like nothing you've tried. Dr. Carvey's Easy Shave Butter. Just one more reason to try Dollar Shave Club. Do it today at dollarshaveclub.com/Burr. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Burr. Oh, shit. Here we go. The classic. Me undies, no more sweaty balls. Ba-doo-doo-doo. Me undies. Buy a whole bunch for the fall. You won't be freezing your fucking balls off. You got your two balls wrapped up in a sock, except they're shaped like some fucking shorts. They make your balls feel real nice, like chinchilla. Go get yourself some MeUndies. And floss your crotch. MeUndies.com is committed to making the world's most comfortable underwear. They fit perfectly, keep you cool, and are made from modal. Gotta go to Moe's. I don't know what that shit is. Which is sustainably sourced from beechwood trees in Austria. Speaking of Hitler, that's the first one he took. 2 for 2 on the advertising with the old Hitler reference, resulting in a fabric that is 2 times softer than cotton. And now, my podcast, or they are, I don't know who's where, offering 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies. MeUndies, no more sweaty balls. MeUndies.com/Burr. If you don't love them, your first pair is free. Again, that's 20% off your first order. The world's best underwear at MeUndies, UNDIES.com/Burr. Get yourself a pair, and your balls will be out without a care. All right, now where do we go from here? How many we got? We got 4 this week? All right, no, we got 5. All right, we'll do 3 and 2. 3 and 2, all right? Uber! Hey, you like making great money, right? You don't? Well, then don't listen to the rest of this. But if you like making money, if you want to get out there, here's a real cool opportunity that Uber had to share with you. Driving with Uber. Uber's that popular smartphone app that connects riders with drivers. Okay, if you take Uber a bunch, why don't you become an Uber driver? If you love them, if you like chatting with the different drivers, you know, and listening to their interesting stories, you could be one of them. You know, you ever notice those Uber drivers? They love being their own bosses. They earn great money, and it's easy to start. All you need is a car and a license. Driving with Uber is great for anyone who needs flexibility. Parents, this is a really great, really easy way to work around your family schedule. It's a great way to avoid your family. You know what I mean? It's a great way to do a whole bunch of things. You know, that's a great job for a hitman. I'm going to go make some extra money, honey. See you later. Go out, you know, you pick a couple of fares, you go make your hit, and then you come back, right? It's all the opportunities are endless with Uber. Students, you can make extra money between classes. No more stripping ladies. Now's the prime time to cash in with Uber. You'll thank me for telling you how to get paid every week, all right? Call to action. All right, here's the serious part. You got a car and a license. Put them both to work, you scumbag. Why are you a scumbag? Put them both for, because I was talking like that. Slow down, Bill. Put them both for work for you and start earning serious, life-changing money. Sign up to Uber. To Uber? Sign up to Drive with Uber. Visit drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. Drivewithuber.com. That was like I won the first three quarters and I fucked it up in the end. Christ, you lost the game. Anyway, so let's move on with the podcast here. A lot of shit happened in the news. The latest person to get in trouble and to be branded a racist. Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan. It's running wild. The Hulkster. Having a conversation. Dropping the N-word. Dropping the fucking N-word. So then his daughter comes to his defense. Says he's not a racist. You know, I don't know. Who the fuck? What are you going to do? I mean, you're dropping the N-word. That's a rough one. I'll tell you that's a rough one, you know. Then he's got friends who are African-American, yet he's fucking dropping the N-word. You know what I think it really is? I think there's a bunch of different levels to being racist. You know what I mean? It's like me. I play drums, but it's just a fucking hobby. But John Bonham was a fucking drummer. You know what I mean? So like the John Bonhams of racism are like in the Klan. They're in like those white supremacist groups, you know? They were in the fucking, they were with the Nazis. You know what I mean? They are professional fucking racists. This is what they do. This is how they earn a living. You know? Can you earn a living in the Klan? Isn't it kind of like a volunteer fire department, but you're just fucking, you're racist and you start fires? It's like a drum circle, except you just say hateful shit. What exactly is the Klan? Why would you join the Klan? And then you got other people who are more like, you know, it's like they're not a professional racist, but if they wanted to be, they could be the Grand Dragon in the Klan. They just don't apply themselves. So instead, they work at like Home Depot or some shit, right? They think just as much fucked up shit. And then you got the person who occasionally, you know, like me, goes around, plays drums every once in a while. These guys do the same thing, except they drop the N-word every once in a while. I think Hogan's like right around there. You know what I mean? It's like when his daughter's saying he's not a racist, she means like he's not in the Klan. He doesn't have a swastika tattoo. You know what I mean? But he's still playing drums there. You know what I'm saying? Why am I relating drums to fucking being a racist? I don't fucking know. Who knows? He was also, I looked up his age. He's 61 years old. He was born August 11th, 1953. So that means if his parents had him at like what? Like 25, they were born in 1928. So Jesus Christ. I mean, what the fuck were his parents filling his head up with, right? His parents lived through the Depression. They was already preaching that there wasn't enough and that black people, now that they were free, were going to take everything from the white man. That paranoia was probably already there. Then they went into the fucking Depression. So maybe his parents were extra fucking racist. So he had to crawl out of that hole, and him crawling out of that hole was having black friends. But you know, he's like one of those, he has black friends, but he's like, I don't want my daughter to date one. So he's like, you know, I'd say he's like an intermediate racist. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, brother. What are you going to do? Who's getting who? You know, you put a tape recorder on and people still don't know the song. Who knows what the fuck? I mean, we would all have to apologize for something. If somebody left a fucking tape recorder on all goddamn day long and you didn't know it was on, Nixon lost the White House doing that shit. You wouldn't be in trouble? Jesus Christ, the fucking shit that I say over the course of a day about fucking broads and all this type, that something would come out. You know, or if they read all the texts that you do, joking around with your friends, but you know it's a fucking joke, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you drop the N-word, but come on, somebody would get you. Somebody get you for something homophobic, right? Something. I don't fucking know. But, I think it's going to be a good thing. I think the guy hopefully will learn something from it. And he won't do shit like that anymore. Hopefully he'll know that it's wrong. But I really think in moments like that, you got to let somebody be a fucking human being. You got to take into consideration when they were born, what was fed into their fucking heads, and give him an opportunity to redeem themselves. Because if you just cancel all his fucking matches and all that shit, what is that going to do? Except drive him more towards anger. That's what I say. Because the other shit's not working. Firing people, you know what I mean? That fucking chef there that had the slave-themed fucking wedding. Do you think she's not thinking, I'm sure she's a little bit better, but did that really help? I don't fucking know. What am I talking about? Who knows? So, let's get back to the podcast. This is what I wanted to talk about. Here we go. So, Tom Brady slaying all the ladies. He appealed the 4-game suspension. And somebody who was speaking for all the owners said that they were all hoping that they would, all the other owners, I should say, were hoping that the NFL would uphold this suspension. Because what he did was so fucking horrific, or allegedly did. They can't fucking prove it or whatever. That's the thing. They can't fucking prove he did anything, yet there's a 4-game fucking suspension that these cunts want to be upheld, that they want to have upheld. And the number 1 and 2 people fucking that are on their side, believe it or not, are the Indianapolis Colts and the fucking Baltimore Ravens. And this is such a fucking layup for a joke. The Ravens fucking quote, let me find it here, was that the Patriots have been getting away with murder for years. Why, if you're connected with the Baltimore Ravens, would you ever use the expression getting away with murder? These fucking teams, they're all sitting in glass houses, and I love that they fucking trash the Patriots for whatever the fuck it is they think that we're doing. Like they're these holier-than-thou people. You want to talk about getting away with murder? Hey, how about this? At least when one of our players is involved in a murder, the fucker goes to jail. At least we got that on you. The fucking Ravens. Jesus Christ. In your last fucking decade, you had a guy fucking drop his fiancée in an elevator and drag her out, and you guys were fine with the 4-game suspension because all you give a fuck about is the performance. And then you had your other guy there, right? Obstruction of justice in a double fucking homicide. Not only do you look the other fucking way, you let him play in the Super Bowl. He invites his 2 buddies there who are up on the fucking double homicide charges, are sitting there in the game, and you didn't give a fuck. And you're going to talk about airing a ball? Shame on you. Shame on you, Baltimore Ravens. And I don't even have to get involved with the Indianapolis Colts. Every game that Andrew Luck starts is cheating for the Indianapolis Colts, considering how they got him. And they tanked an entire fucking season. And if you don't think that they did that, then you still believe in Santa Claus. All right? I'm not even saying my team is fucking innocent. Not by any stretch of the fucking means. I don't give a fuck if you say my team cheats, but it's when you get on your high horse and you say that your team doesn't cheat too. That's when I say, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to walk away from this, and I'm going to go have myself a water with a lemon because I'm on the wagon. Yeah. Why don't the fucking Ravens and the Colts just own up to the fact that you're just jealous of how long the Patriots have been good and how many fucking Super Bowls we've been to and how many games we fucking won? All right, you cunts. You got yourself 2 Super Bowls, the Ravens. What's your fucking problem? Indianapolis, I know what that guy's fucking problem is. It's his goddamn personal life. Wow, that was a low blow. I did not want to say that. I didn't want to say that, but I'm just sick of this guy trying to fucking, Of course these cunts don't want Brady to come back. They want the Patriots to be 0-4, so they got a fucking chance at winning. A better fucking chance. Right now, do you think they're really outraged at the Patriots? They're not. This is just part of them. The same way, like, you fucking tank a season to get Andrew Luck. The same way you look the other way on obstruction of justice or a fucking, somebody beating the shit out of somebody in an elevator because you want those players on the fucking field. You don't want Brady on the field. So, of course, you're going to play the outrage card. Of course you're going to do that. When someone else almost beat their fucking girlfriend to death and almost got fucking 4 games. Not talking about the guy from Baltimore, this latest fucking guy. All right? It's complete fucking horseshit. So, anybody out there who's actually buying into this shit, you're just a Patriot hater or you believe in Santa Claus. All right? And I'm never going to hear your argument because I don't go to sports bars. I think people who actually really think that this is a big deal, the whole fucking Deflategate thing, are the kind of people that even in July are sitting there wearing a pro-level NFL jersey with somebody else's name on the back, and you got wing sauce in your fucking beard stubble. All right? And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I think it's high time you fucking grow up. What do you think about that? I don't give a fuck if Brady comes back in Game 6. We're still going to make the playoffs, and we're still going to come back and fucking haunt you cunts. All right? And we're going to break your hearts in your own fucking stadium. I don't care how loud you are. All right? Well, if you go there dressed like a bird, you know, or you got a sword in your tooth, or you're fucking eating a dog bone, they don't give a fuck. They're professionals. They're going to come in there. And metaphorically speaking, they're going to gut you. All right? So get ready for the heartache. Another football season's coming. I'm talking a bunch of shit. I don't give a fuck. We just won our 4th. I'm a happy fan. Speaking of which, being up in Montreal always makes me think of the Expos. And did I ever tell you that time I went to an Expos game by myself? I was doing a gig. I might have done it. It was either a college or I did the Lake Ontario Playhouse way back in the day. That's like one of the first headlining gigs I got outside of the New England area. And Mike Kinney, I believe, was the guy who booked me up there. I always loved doing that gig. But anyways, so I was up there, up on Lake Ontario, and it was at that point I was trying to go to all the ballparks. So I saw that the Expos had a game the next day. So I said, fuck it. So I got in my rental car by myself, and I'm crossing the Canadian border in a very obscure place. I'm not coming up 95. And I'm by myself. So the fucking security guard up there, you know, security guard, you're going to another country. Find the security guard comes walking up. He's like, oh, where you going there, eh? And I was like, I'm going to an Expos game. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going up there by yourself? And I was like, yep. And he goes, oh, okay, why don't you pull over there, eh? So I pull over my rental car, and I'm like, what the fuck? I never gotten pulled over before, and I'm standing there. And him and this other guy proceed to rip my fucking rental car apart. I'm like, what are they doing? And then it finally dawned on me that they thought that nobody was pathetic enough to drive an extra 2.5 hours to go see an afternoon Expos game by themselves. Nobody was that sad of a human being. And it just struck me as funny, and I started fucking laughing. And they were looking over at me, and I had this big smile on my face, and I was laughing because I knew they thought, this guy's got to be dealing drugs. There's no way he's actually going to an Expos game by himself. And it pissed them off, and they searched even harder. And then when they just realized I was just laughing at them, I think they took extra time, almost trying to make me miss the game. So I ended up getting in the car, and I drove up there, and I sat out in the outfield at Olympic Stadium, and I remember they had one armrest on the chairs out there. And for whatever fucking reason, bare bones, it's an Olympic fucking stadium. It's the one that I believe Bruce Jenner, who's now Caitlin, right? He fucking won the goddamn decathlon there. And I sat out there, and I watched somebody steal home plate, and I jumped up in the fucking air freaking out that I saw somebody steal home plate. And nobody in the stadium was reacting. So I sat back down thinking I didn't see what I just saw. And then I went home and I watched TSN or whatever fuck I watched that night. That's their ESPN up there. And they go, hey, what's up? You don't see that often? And I realized that I had actually seen it and was fucked out of the moment because the people out in the outfield were too busy singing that soccer song. That ole, 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 that bullshit. There's my Montreal story. So anyways, which always reminds me whenever I think of the Expos is that fucking team that could have been, which was the 1994 Montreal Expos, the one that Pedro Martinez always gets that look in his eye when he talks about it, going, oh, man, we were loaded. We were loaded. They were like the best team in baseball, and then the strike came, canceled the rest of the season and the World Series. And I always thought that Pedro Martinez was on that team with Randy Johnson. and I believe I've said that on the podcast, and no one, to my knowledge, has ever corrected me. He wasn't. Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez was part of one of the worst trades of all fucking time. The Dodgers thought he was too brittle, too small to last, and they traded him to Montreal for fucking jack squat. And so that trade is always brought up. But the Randy Johnson trade, the Expos trade to Seattle, whenever they do like the top 20 worst major league fucking trades of all time, it's never in there. So here's one for you. Here's an obscure one, because people always bring up, obviously the biggest one of all time is the Red Sox, selling Babe Ruth. We traded the guy for cash so this guy could bankroll his wife's Broadway play. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Even unforgivable back then. Because who knew what it was going to become, baseball and everything, but just fuck, that is the worst one of all time. But here's one that is, and this fascinates me, worst trades of all time that nobody really brings up. If you guys like to tweet me some, I'll read some on Thursday. Or if you want to email me, I'll get the thing here. What is it? The email is, what the fuck is it? Bill@themmpodcast.com. Bill@themmpodcast.com. So Expos traded Randy Johnson. He played for them in 1988 and looked promising. And then he started off 1989 really poorly. He started off 0-4. And his ERA was a little bit high, and they just, I don't know, they must have thought he was a flash in the pan. So listen to this. When the Mariners traded, the Expos traded Randy Johnson to the Mariners for Mark Langston and Mike Campbell. All right? And Seattle got Randy Johnson and then Gene Harris, Brian Holman. I believe that was the trade. And virtually all these Seattle players were unhappy. Here's some of the quotes. Third baseman Jim Presley said, so this is actually, I guess, exonerates the Expos, because if other pro baseball players were like, what the fuck did we do? I guess it's not that bad. But third baseman Jim Presley said, this is a sad day for Mariner baseball. In 4 months now, we've lost two of the best pitchers in Mariners history, because they just traded Langston and Mike Moore, who signed with Oakland, and the other signed as a free agent. And he's going, yeah, this is a sad day. I don't know what went on, whether they made him an offer to him or whether he wanted out of here, but maybe they should have been thinking of how we're supposed to replace him. Second baseman, Harold Reynolds. Harold Reynolds, who's one of my favorite baseball people of all time. He just knows so much. This is him as a young man said, this crushes me, and the reality of it all won't hit me until we take the field tomorrow in Milwaukee and Mike Langston won't be there. In defense of him, that kind of seems like he was buddies with him. But catcher Dave Valley just said, oh, no, oh, no. Which brings me now to my own Boston Bruins. And we had made some very, to put it mildly, aggressive fucking moves here in the offseason. We obviously traded Milan Lucic to the Kings in exchange for the 13th overall pick and backup goaltender Martin Jones and defenseman prospect Colin Miller. Now, I really hope in the future as I read these names that somebody panned the fuck out. So here, okay, with the flurry of trades and draft picks, Bruins GM Don Sweeney began a roster makeover. He really did. So here's what we ended up getting. We also traded, obviously, we got rid of Dougie Hamilton. So here's what we got with our picks. And I'm hoping someday in the future, somebody's going to listen to this and say that this was a great move. Because, back in the day when we traded, what's his face? I always forget his fucking name. The hell's his goddamn name? The guy that we traded. He wouldn't go into the corners, but he scored all the goals. We traded him to Toronto. The only guy I've seen in the NHL he has like a pickup hockey face. He looks like he's accountant during the week. You know what I mean? He's the only guy I've seen with a fat face. How are you fat playing hockey? That's one thing I tell you. There's no fat fucking hockey players. None whatsoever. But somehow this guy is fucking fat. Jesus Christ. Hang on a second. What the fuck is this goddamn name? Let me look this up here. Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton fucking trade. There we go. Bruins hurt themselves. Bruins trade Dougie Hamilton for draft picks to the fucking Flames. Jesus Christ, what the... So anyways, what is the guy's name? I'm sorry, everybody, right now. It's Phil Kessel. All right, so back in the day, we traded Phil Kessel to the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2009 for a pair of first-round draft picks that we later used to select Tyler Seguin and Dougie Hamilton. And it was expected, according to this article, that those two players would be cornerstones of the organization, at least for the next decade. And by the way, we ended up winning the Stanley Cup with those two guys. So now we're doing it again. We're trading again. We're kind of like the mini Blackhawks. We don't win as many. We've made big fucking moves, but we've only won one. So I'm actually willing to give Sweeney the benefit of the doubt. Well, who's kidding who? This is all I fucking got. What else am I going to do? So here's all the draft picks that we got. First round draft pick, number 13. The Boston Bruins select defenseman. I can't even say the guy's name. Jacob Zaboral. 18. Was third among rookie defensemen. Quebec. I don't give a fuck. How big is he? 13 goals, 20 assists last season. Then we picked this kid, number 14. We had back-to-back picks. We picked a fucking sniper. Jake DeBrusk, 18. 6 feet tall, 174 pounds. Jesus Christ. I'd love to be 174 pounds. I'm sorry. Forward led the Western Hockey League Swift Current in scoring with 42 goals and 39 assists. Nice and even. Spreading it around, stick it in the back of the fucking net. Number 15, we selected, this is the guy I like, this just as far as sight, Zachary Senyshyn. I don't even know how to say his fucking name. Senyshyn. 18, spent last season, blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute. Where's the fucking, there's somebody here who's like 6'5". Here he is. This is the guy I got hopes for. Number 37, defenseman Brandon Carlo, 18. The 6'5", 196-pound defenseman had 4 goals, 21 assists. Sounds like he's a stay-at-home guy. You know? I don't know. I'm hoping somebody fucking pans out. That's what we got. So I'm actually kind of excited now. We're really young. Fuck it. Sweeney cleaned house. What am I going to do? Be that guy who bitch moans and complains? So hopefully some of those mean something to somebody someday, right? And you guys can actually laugh that I mispronounced all of the fucking names. You know? Hopefully I just mispronounced the next fucking Wayne Gretzky. But anyways, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard seeing that fucking no Lucic, no Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton was in the prime of his fucking career. I still think that was a fucking crazy move. Why do you do that? This guy's a proven guy. Well, you know, he's probably going to want a lot of money. Well, he fucking deserves it. Pay him. All right, I'm done. I'm done with that shit. Let's get back to the fucking podcast here. Let's get to some of the questions here. All right. Okay, Romanian fan. Funny you should say that. Ash was actually talking to my agent today about doing an Eastern European tour. I was thinking of doing 2 European tours next year where I do the usual guys, Iceland over to England, and then later I do fucking Scandinavia and then down the fucking Baltic states there. Hi, Bill. My name is Eddie. I'm a 30-year-old Romanian living in the UK. I'm 6'1" and used to be 290 pounds, and in January decided to become serious and lose weight. I got to a lowest of 217, but 2 months ago I started working as a truck driver, and I'm starting to gain the weight back. I used to work in a warehouse, very physical job, and also quit smoking 4 months ago. I listen to your podcast. I'm a big fan. You are a great comedian. I only wrote to you because I absolutely love your way and share all your political views. Dude, please put some punctuation in this. I know you mentioned my country a few podcasts ago when you were in Paris and your lovely wife, whom I salute kindly. I love how people learn English. It's so proper. I salute kindly. Well, I salute you too kindly. And I want you to know that we Romanians are damned to be born in the same country with those pests that are called gypsies. They ruined our name and country. But I 100% agree with the fact that you did a heads up for your future holiday makers in Paris. And second of all, I'm a trucker, and a few podcasts ago you were wondering if truckers are listening to you. Well, my good man, at least one surely does. The point of the email is, do I continue to do this job that I fucking love, being a trucker, but probably gonna fuck all my hard work of losing weight, or do you have a piece of advice? Thank you so very much. Yeah, dude, start eating healthy. Start eating healthy. What I would do is I would go to the grocery store. I'd have a fucking cooler. And for breakfast, I'd have like an apple or an orange. I would make sure that I eat really light. And at night, I would try to get on the fucking treadmill. But you have to eat perfectly. And you have to learn way more about nutrition than I do. But if you love being a trucker, man, just you gotta have a job you love, because then it doesn't feel like work. But if you're starting to put the weight on, I would definitely say don't eat after 5, and I would have a giant fucking salad with some protein every night for dinner. Get yourself a sandwich. I'd crush the fucking waters. Late night snack, I do the celery with the spoonful of peanut butter. And that gets me through. Now, I've never tried to be a trucker. That is fucking brutal. The closest thing I've ever been to a trucker, as far as is difficult to stay in shape, was sitting in a writer's room. When I sat in the writer's room at F is for Family, I put on some weight. Then that went into the holidays, which went into the world tour. Not world tour. I went on the other side of the world. And then, these bus tours haven't fucking helped. So, what I would do is I just get on the scale, see what you weigh, and then next week try to just weigh lighter. That's it. Even if it's just a pound, because you can't fucking work out as much, I would definitely try to be as active as you possibly can. You know what I would do? I'd come up, this is what I'd do if I was you, I'd come up with the fucking trucker workout and diet. Write a book. Figure out what works for you, then turn it into a goddamn book, and then they'll expand it, not just the trucker diet. Just say, hey, this worked for a guy driving a truck. Imagine what it would do for you. All you do is commute. They'd sell the shit out of it. And then maybe you got enough money to buy your own truck or start your own trucking company. Who knows? I'll tell you right now, you have a hit book. Even after they're done stealing from you, you at least have time to go to the gym. All right? Well, thank you for listening. And I don't know. I'll go to Romania someday with my pockets zipped shut. Girlfriend's parents. Hey, Bill, I am in 8th grade, and I am about to date this girl who is a freshman in high school. Dude, you're fucking crushing it, unless you're a woman. Then, hey, go easy. Yes, there is a double standard. Your mother would say the same thing. The only problem is that her parents don't want her to date me because they think she'll get bullied for dating a person in a lower grade from her. Oh, all right. Okay, that's interesting. I definitely don't want to leave the relationship for some bullshit reason, so I'm asking you, and hopefully the lovely Nia, too, for your guys' advice on what I should do. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. Wait, the only problem is her parents don't want her to date me. Well, I mean, you really don't have a choice here. I mean, your only choice is I want to keep dating you. The ball is in her court, in her court. So I would just say to her, listen, I really like you, and I want to be with you. I'd like to date you. Okay? If you feel the same way, I'd hope you'd want to keep dating me. But I can't make you date me. So, that's it. I'm going all in. World Series of Poker. I pushed all my chips in. You still want to be with me? I'll be down the fucking arcade tonight at 8 o'clock, whatever you kids do nowadays. I'll be staring like a zombie at my fucking PlayStation flat screen and the surround sound. I don't know. What more can you do other than tell her that you want to be with her? That's what I would do. But no matter what, end on a good fucking note. If she can't do it, just play this card at your fucking age. Just be like, you know what? I understand. You might even add this in there. Listen, I understand. I don't want to put you in a bad position with your parents, but I do really like you. And I would like to still be with you. And that isn't bullshit, right? But the parent part is setting you up for the future, because next year you're going to be a freshman, provided you study and don't fuck up and be held back. All right? Don't be that guy with the mustache in 8th grade, please. All right. Then you get to fucking high school. Now you're in high school. You know, it's not as bad. Sophomore, freshman, who gives it? Nobody's going to give a fuck. You're going to the same school. You're laying the groundwork to still be in the ball game. You know what I mean? You're at bat right now. The emergency swing right now. Stay alive. Stay alive. That's what I would say. Stay alive in the batter's box. Just say, listen, I know it's got to be tough that your parents are giving you a rough time, okay? And ultimately the decision's going to be yours, but I still want to date you because I really like you. All right? But I don't want to make you miserable either. So make, oh, God damn it, I went one sentence too far. I was going to say make a decision that you're comfortable with. Don't say that. Say what the fuck I just said and leave off that last thing. All right? And then that's it. And if she fucking lets you go, like I say, stay on good fucking terms with her. Do not stalk her on Facebook. Do not pay attention if she starts dating somebody else. Listen, if she decides to walk, you just have to be like, all right, well, maybe next year when I'm in high school. All right? Maybe then? And she'll say, yeah, maybe then. And say, all right. And just say, listen, I'm not going to get mad if you start dating somebody else or something like that, and then you fucking get it out there, and then you can fucking crush it in 8th grade. You're in that, dude. You're already taking down them in 9th grade. This is like you're going from majors down to fucking college ball. You know? Hanging curveballs all day long, sending them into the fucking trees like the thrill ride. Remember that one on the first thrill ride fucking video I sent you? No? All right. All right, Bill, I'm old girlfriend. I'm old. Girlfriend wants baby. Hey, Billy, I'm about to turn 48, and I'm dating a great girl, and she's just turned 34. Lucky me. I was previously married for 26 years and never had children. She has no baggage whatsoever. No kids, no ex-loser husband, etc. She said she would like to have at least one kid, and I think she feels time is running out. I kind of think I'm too old, but I don't want to lose her. I like kids, but they seem like a lot of work. I don't know, those kids, they seem like a lot of work. Said, seem like a lot of work, even if completely healthy. Jesus Christ, dude. Even more if they have any issues. Jesus, dude. You're one of those guys that shouldn't have had kids. Not sure I got the energy for that. I want to travel and go to shows and drink and continue to be selfish, but in some way it sounds kind of cool. Please help. Maybe Nia has a take. P.S. Stuart Copeland is the greatest drummer of all time. Capital, and it's true. Yeah, he's one of the greats. And if that's your greatest drummer of all time, I wouldn't argue that, to each his own. Hey, dude, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. I don't think you're too old, And I think it's really, like, as far as, like, the work, it's the first, I think, 3-4 years. Once they get around 5 and they kind of know right from wrong, then you kind of got a buddy. He's still going to be a pain in the ass, but, he's going to the bathroom himself, or herself or whatever. They kind of know right from wrong, and then they think you're a god. So, like, the next fucking 7 years, even though they're still going to throw temper tantrums and shit, by the time they're 7 or 8, I mean, if you did the fucking job and you raised them right, you got to have a pretty cool kid. And then, enjoy the next 5 years, because then once they become teenagers, they think they fucking know everything, and just pray to God they don't get knocked up or knock somebody up or get addicted to drugs. It's really, once they turn 13, you're just trying to get them through education, getting a good job, and not marrying a fucking psycho. And if you do that, then I think then you can finally fucking breathe a little bit. That's what it seems like. But, yeah, it's a lot of work, but there's a part of you that I think wants to do it. So if you want to do it, I would say do it now. It's now or never. All right, ex-lady called me up. Hey, Billy bitch tits. Hey, easy. Jesus Christ. I hope you're meeting your weight loss goals. I love listening to your podcast at the gym. Yada, 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 yada. Go fuck yourself. Speaking of drumming, by the way, I did the goddamn Comedy Jam 3 times last week. I got to play out live in a club, man. What a thrill that is. What a fucking thrill. I want to thank Josh Adam Myers and everybody in the band, Joel, Jay, and Nick, for putting up with me and my awful fucking playing. I was actually totally relaxed the whole week when I was playing. I fucked up a lot, but I just kept going. I didn't drop time too much, I don't think I fucked up fills. There's a couple, double hits on the bass drum that I sounded like mud. But whatever. Snare was right there on the 2 and 4. Nobody noticed. But what a fucking great time that is. I can't imagine traveling with 3 other people and being in a band and being fucking broke. But I can tell you right now, sitting behind a set of drums, best seat in the fucking house, watching everybody else in the band going fucking nuts, and actually seeing people like into it is one of the fucking coolest things I've ever got to do. So I'll be doing a lot more of those in the future. Why the fuck not? They're fun as hell. Anyways, I love listening to your podcast at the gym, yada, yada, yada. Go fuck yourself. I need some advice about this ex-lady I used to date a few years back at the end of college. She recently sent me a message wanting to hang out. I asked her about her situation from a friend. The lady is moving in 7 weeks and quit her job. Wait a minute. I just started daydreaming halfway through that. I was thinking about drumming. Isn't that weird? You can actually do that while somebody else keeps reading and talking. All right, I need some advice about this. Actually, I used to date a few years back. She recently sent me a message wanting to hang out. Asked what her situation friend. The lady is moving in 7 weeks and quit her job. I figured she was looking for a quick fling before she left. Ah. Bill, I thought I had struck gold. I really did. 1.5 months of no strings attached fun, and then she would just be fucking gone. You idiot. You probably saw her too much, and now she thinks there's a reason to stay. Never have to see her again. Anyways, I agree to hang out with her, and that's when she tells me that she is homeless. Oh, Jesus Christ. She's homeless. How the fuck is she calling you? She fucked up her lease and is out 7 weeks before she leaves. So now I'm hanging out with her in 1 week. My question for you, parentheses, and maybe your wife could help add some female charm to the answer. How do I bang her? Oh, my God. But not have to let her live with me for 2 months. You know what? I got to put down the mic for half a second and just applaud you for admitting to the exact selfish piece of shit thing that you want to do. Hang on a second. Gotta love honesty, even if you don't like the what somebody wants to do. I think I should probably just go for it and worry about that situation later. What do you think? Thank you, and please go fuck yourself. A redheaded dope like yourself. All right. My freckles and arms here. All right, how do I bang her but not have to live with her? Oh, simple. You just put her up in a motel and you say you're going to pay for it. That's what I would do. That's fucking filthy, man. Jesus Christ. Put her up in a fucking hotel. It'll be cheap. She's not fucking homeless. She'll feel obligated to bang you. You were already banging before. It won't feel so filthy. That's what you could do. I might need a shower after this fucking answer, but that I would just say that's the way to go. By no means let her ever stay over at your house. Do not ever fuck her over at your house. Fuck her at the motel that you put her up in. That's what you need to do. Okay? She cannot come over your fucking house. If she asks you why, just be honest. Just be honest. Just say, because I'm not. You know what, dude? This is really fucked up. She's calling you in a time of need. She's calling you because she's homeless. Lady's moving in 7 weeks and quit her job. Oh, dude, she might be on drugs. She fucked up her lease. She's moving. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. You might be fucking somebody who's using needles here, man. You know what I say, dude? I got one for you. Why don't you fucking rub one out and then think about it? Oh, he says, P.S., when is your next special coming out? I think I speak for everyone when I say I can't wait to see it. Well, that's very nice of you. Well, I put them out every 2 years. So the last one came out in December. Every little more than 2 years. So this is my year off where I just get to fuck around and have a great time, which I'm doing. And I'm already, I have some ideas about where I want to shoot my next one, what I want it to look like. And I'm just waiting for the material to come. But I'm really happy. I'm really happy with where my act was this past weekend when I was up in Montreal. All right, let me read the rest of the advertising here, and then I got a dilemma and a couple of overrated, underrated. Remember those? All right, where are we? Stamps.com, everybody. You know that feeling you get when you can get things done with just a click of your mouse? It can't get more convenient than that. And now you can even get your mailing and shipping done. Sorry, got the hiccups here. Without leaving your desk. Thanks to Stamps.com. Oh, God, I got the hiccups. Stamps.com turns your PC or Mac into your own personal post office that never closes. Talk about convenient. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your computer and printer. Then just hand your mail to the mailman or drop it in the mailbox, and you'll never have to go to the post office again. I use Stamps.com to send out all my tour posters. I'm a moron. If I can figure out how to do it, so can you. Right now, use my last name, Burr, for this special offer. No risk trial plus a $110 bonus offer. How is this special? You offer this for years, every month. Why can't we just say this wonderful offer? Includes a digital scale. Well, maybe because they do it every month. That makes it special. Includes a digital scale. Calculates exact postage for letters and packages and up to $55 free postage. Do not wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Burr. That's Stamps.com. Enter Burr. And finally, LegalZoom. Do you want the government to decide what happens to your property or minor children? Jesus, they're swinging for the fences right out of the gate, grabbing your attention. If not, make the commitment to protect your family with the last will or living trust today. You got to do it. It's National Make-A-Will Month at LegalZoom.com. And doing the right thing has never been easier. They've created a better way for you and your spouse to take control of your family's future. Check out LegalZoom's new last will and living trust bundles. The more you plan ahead with wills, trust, and powers of attorney, the more you save. Even if you're confused about all the options, don't let that hold you back. You can use their online resources and estate planning tool to help you figure out what you need, or get more specific guidance from LegalZoom's network of independent attorneys in most states, since they're not a law firm. Don't procrastinate when it comes to protecting your family. Get legal help you can count on at LegalZoom.com today. Don't forget to enter Burr, B-U-R-R, in the referral box at the checkout to save even more. That's LegalZoom.com, promo code Burr, LegalZoom.com. And as always, if you guys want to donate to the podcast, a cheap, free way to do it is you just if you're going to go buy something at Amazon, just go to BillBurr.com, click on the podcast page, click on the Amazon link. It just takes you there, and I just get credit for driving traffic there, and they kick me a portion of the proceeds, and a percentage of those proceeds I sent to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, because that seems to be like an up-and-up charity. All right? There you go. All right. Dilemma. Would you rather do a show with no swearing or take a bath with Oprah, also with no swearing? I wouldn't subject Oprah to taking a bath with me. I'd do a show not swearing. I've done that. I can do that. Underrated, overrated. These are from me. Underrated, calling it a night. That's what I learned when I was in Montreal, when I wasn't drinking and I was just sitting there slamming waters and everything. It got to that fucking point. Like, you know what? There's a point where you saw everything that's going to happen. Everything else is just going to get messy. Get home now where you can still wake up early and fucking work out. Also underrated, drinking waters while everyone else is getting fucked up. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Everybody starts slurring. They say crazy shit to you. And right as they're getting just completely not even tolerable, you just fucking walk out and they don't even notice. Also underrated, working out in the morning. Stepping on the scale after pushing $190 a month ago and seeing 180.0. All right, overrated. After parties, rich food, and buying new shit. You buy new shit, and then that gets with your old shit. Next thing you know, your fucking room is filled. It's filled up, you know what I mean? You got to get underrated, getting rid of shit. I got stuff in my garage. I have old DVDs. Would you guys still buy DVDs if I put them up on my website? I'll autograph all of them just to get them out of my garage. I'm going to do it. I think there's a few older people out there listening to the podcast that are old school like me, and they want the gold behind their money. They don't want to digitally own it. They want to have the hard copy. All right, that's going to be the podcast for this week. What a week I had, man. Montreal, Ottawa, you guys were unbelievable. Such great fans up there. The goddamn Comedy Jam. Josh, Joel, Jay, and Nick, thank you guys for putting up with my drumming. And thank you to everybody that came out to my shows. What else? Who else did I want to thank? God damn it. I can't fucking remember. Anyways, I'm the worst. I did all right this week. I actually made some lists. Anyways, this is going to take me forever to upload because my internet sucks. So I got an hour and 10 minutes here. You guys have a good weekend. On Thursday, I'll check in on you there. All right, go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you later.